Hi everyone, I'm going to introduce you the difference between the Pinyin and Zhuyin system in the Chinese pronunciation. Okay, so now let's look at quickly look at the just by looking quickly look at the Wikipedia. So actually these two system, the column here is the Zhuyin system, and the fourth column here is the Pinyin system. So they actually are expressing the same thing and use the same idea to annotate the Chinese pronunciation. However, their symbol is different. So the Zhuyin system has a distinct set of the symbols to annotate each pronunciation. However, the Pinyin system utilizes the existing English 26 symbols and some sort of combination to annotate the Chinese pronunciation. So for most of them, they have like a one-on-one correspondence. For example, ge and ju here. However, in some instances, which there's a distinct symbol in the Zhuyin system. However, in the Pinyin system, you have to combine two English letters in order to give that a designated pronunciation. For example, zhi, here we have to spell it zh in order to designate that pronunciation. And now let's go over to the difference between the traditional Chinese and the simplified Chinese. So here's an example of the traditional and simplified. So simplified just means it simplifies some more complex words to a more easier ways to write it. And usually the Zhuyin system correspond with the traditional Chinese, and the Pinyin system correspond to the simplified system. For example, I say here, which means country, 国家 annotated in the Zhuyin system, and the 国家 in the simplified Chinese and the Pinyin system. So they are actually one-on-one correspondence if you can identify it. 歌 居 u and u and o and o, and jia is still the same. G correspond to j, e correspond to I, and a correspond to a. So they are actually saying the same thing, but just using different symbols to identify it. And so for actually the learning procedure, especially for kids in the kindergarten, is that they know how to say a word. For example, they know how to say 国家, but they don't know how to write it. So they write it in symbols. So by looking at the symbols, they are able to pronounce it 国家. And when they get older, they are maybe able to write some simple words, so they might still don't know how to write 国, but they can pronounce it, so they write it in this symbol. But now they are able to write 家 in character. However, when they grow much older, they are able to write both 国 and 家 in character. And so that's the procedure of learning Chinese. So we'll cover both the Pinyin and Zhuyin system in our lessons, and we'll also cover the traditional Chinese writing and simplified Chinese writing in our lesson.